Hey, I'm Christina Warren, and welcome to Microsoft Ignite. This is the Microsoft Production Studios, and this is where all the magic is going to happen. And so in just a couple of minutes, we're going to be kicking off the event, but we're so excited to have you back. And in fact, basically since the last event ended, we've been heads down working on all the ways that we can make sure that this event allows you to connect and explore and learn. And so we've been working on really terrific content, really terrific opportunities. The product team has some fantastic announcements that you're not going to want to miss. But most importantly, this event is all about you. You, the learner, you, the IT professional, you, the developer. And so everything that we're doing is really focused on that experience and making sure that you can get as much out of this event as possible. And to that end, actually, we found out some really great stats that happened a couple of weeks after the last Microsoft Ignite. More than 100,000 of you registered to learn on Microsoft Learn and took over 800,000 Microsoft Learn modules. More than 60,000 Microsoft certifications were earned, and then all told, there were more than 1 million hours of learning. Just some phenomenal stuff. And so, you know what? Enough of me talking. We're so excited to have you here. Welcome to Microsoft Ignite. Let's get started.
Hello and welcome to Microsoft Ignite. The next 2 days are full of news and announcements from across the Microsoft family of products and solutions, starting with the keynote from Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella. It will also be full of opportunities for you to learn from experts and to connect with fellow IT pros and developers from around the world. We hope the next 2 days will be exciting and thought-provoking, inspiring and engaging as we gather here at Microsoft Ignite once again. I'm Caruana Gatimo. I'm the Principal Manager of the Customer Advocacy Group within Microsoft Teams Engineering. And as always, I'm excited to be joining you here at Microsoft Ignite.
And I'm Rick Claus, Principal Cloud Advocate. I lead a team of worldwide cloud advocacy folks that focus on Azure engineering and the operations audience. I'm privileged to come alongside many of you, our IT pro and operations community, here at Microsoft Ignite. Now, I'm delighted once again to be part of the Microsoft Ignite and more excited to even be hosting once again with you, Caruana.
It's always good when we're together, Rick, that's for sure. It seems like only yesterday, though, when we were welcoming you to the first all-digital Microsoft Ignite, set on a backdrop of global transformation. And while we still face many of those challenges, we've also seen unprecedented innovation and really the best that this community of leaders has to offer. We've taken your feedback from the first all-digital event and made some changes, to the way the show is going to go. You may have seen the phrase, virtually unstoppable together, and it's that mantra that we celebrate here at Microsoft Ignite. While today's event is designed to give you a bird's eye view of the future of the Microsoft solutions you use every day, it's also about bringing real customer stories and partner experiences to life.
The sheer amount of things to do and see during this event is going to be a little bit overwhelming, and so that's kind of why it's important to always come back here, if you will, to the home base, the main page here in studio, to join us to kind of stay oriented. If you take a look at the featured partner showcase, for example, or go check out the Learning Zone, or even go check out another session that happens to be taking place, another breakout or a communities event, you make sure to come back here to be able to stay connected for the flow.
Yep. This is where so much is happening. And it's especially important for those of us joining for the first time. This is going to be your home base for the entire digital event. We'll have a few familiar faces coming through this stream, and we're here to help you navigate through the experience, plus add some context and insight. And, we're going to have plenty of fun along the way.
No fun whatsoever. What are you talking about? Now, as you mentioned, Caruana, we've taken your feedback about improving the digital experience, and we're going to be taking some time together to learn and to skill up, and also to look into the future of a whole bunch of different experiences. Now, some of the cool sessions I'm personally looking forward to are actually found what's known inside of the Learning Zone. This is a place where you can start your journey towards learning about new things and also some new experiences. You're going to get to learn about experts with with different types of workshops, and even have the option of signing up for some one-on-one consultations if you want to get some specific answers about your projects that you have underway. Now, of course, you can always get involved with the Cloud Skills Challenge. Not that we're competitive or anything, but if you want to challenge yourself and also go for bragging rights with you and your friends, just to see how you rank up and how you work with folks both inside and outside of your organization. Now, the cool thing about the Cloud Skills Challenge is that if you complete multiple modules to basically complete the learning path, you have a chance to win and earn a free Microsoft certification exam.
You'll also see our virtual training days in our learning zone. These are free instructor-led technical skilling in multiple languages and time zones across a variety of topics. They take place throughout March, so register for one today.
Now, we've got news, we've got announcements, we've got all sorts of different things that you're going to be learning about today and hearing throughout the entire event. This is Microsoft's greatest hits, if you will, from all the big players. Microsoft 365, Dynamics 365, Power Platform, Microsoft Teams, Windows Server, and even a little thing close to my heart, Microsoft Azure, and so much more.
It's really an amazing catalog of content. At least I think so. I know we share that. But if you're new to Microsoft Ignite, don't be overwhelmed. We've got themes that you can follow to help organize your experience. Throughout the event, we'll dive into those themes like security, remote and hybrid work, and AI, just to name a few of them. Remember, you can search for sessions based on keywords inside our session scheduler. And now it's time to welcome you all to our digital venue. So come with us, come on a little tour. It's a journey, and we want to show you around our home for the next 2 days.
Right. So in the digital venue, the first thing you're going to want to take a look at is, first of all, on the website, make sure you go to myignite.microsoft.com. That's, again, the home base here in the studio and also as events are going on. Now, while you're here, you are going to want to introduce yourself. And so up in the top right-hand corner where you happen to be signed in, you are able to go in and take a look at updating your profile. Your profile is what's going to kind of personalize your experience for who you are, what you do, and also what you're interested in. One of the things you may not be aware of is while you're registering for Microsoft Ignite, there was a checkbox that basically said, make my profile public. And that allows you to put your profile inside the attendee directory. Now, just to kind of put everyone at ease here, no personal information is shared about what you are connected with other people, but it does give you the opportunity to fill out your biography, fill out your LinkedIn profile data, your Twitter handle, and also your interests that you have throughout the day. There's 2 more checkboxes you want to make sure that you turn on inside of the My Profile area, and that is the checkbox that says share your schedule with the rest of the attendees so other people can see your interests, and also the option of making your profile live on for a period of time after the event, just in case someone, puts you in their backpack. But we'll talk about more about that later.
This is especially important if you want to have what we call those hallway conversations. We always look forward to them at these events.
Right, so once you're filled out as far as having your profile created, you are able to go in and to make connections like you would have made at these physical events. So you're able to go in and to initiate chat requests with individual people, again, respecting your privacy. And you can even go through and create meetings between different groups of people to collaborate on particular ideas. And we're going to go ahead and facilitate making a Teams meeting specific for you and the group of invitees if they've all opted into this public sharing. Again, no private information is shared during this. You have your connection, your meeting, you collaborate on what you want to collaborate on, maybe even like a little bit of a watch party, and then you're good to go.
That sounds like a lot of fun. But speaking of connecting with others, just like Microsoft Ignite events in the past, we've got a connection zone. It's here to create opportunities to talk with experts and interact with each other. It's also the place to find tech communities as well. And I love those tech communities. So meet people who are active in women in technology, or groups from specific countries or regions are available in that connection zone. Now, a quick note. Remember to take time for yourself during the event. We've got so many incredible sessions and keynotes throughout the next 2 days that it's important to get up, stretch, and stay hydrated. And do what you need to do to stay healthy. That's a priority of wellness and self-care here at Microsoft Ignite.
Right. So as you can see here, I'm actually on the Connection Zone page. You can get to it by just going up to the top right-hand side of that particular browser. Inside the Connection Zone is where you'll find the opportunity to book those one-on-one consultations, but then also go ahead and look at the attendee directory. make one of those meeting requests and also take a look at those messages that we talked about earlier. And then, as you mentioned, we've got these different types of sessions that happen to be up here. Now, Microsoft Ignite is really powered by the community, and a great way to connect with everybody else is to go through one of these things that are called Table Talks. Table Talks show up inside your regular schedule. They are limited in capacity just because there is a limitation with how many people we can get together. But the cool thing about the Table Talk is it allows you to actually turn your microphone on, turn your camera on, and participate as almost like a hallway conversation while you're there to be able to network during the events. You can also apply to be part of the product group roundtables potentially to provide feedback about our products, and you get to talk directly with engineering teams inside of that environment to share your thoughts and also to participate in that conversation. This is your chance to give back to the community, to engage the community, and help us shape what our products are going to be doing. These are some community suggested topics that came into play. So there's lots of great information inside the Table Talks. They're inside your schedule. We'll talk about that a little bit later on, but you can filter based on type and look for Table Talks to participate.
Customer feedback to help drive product innovation. That is something I'm very familiar with. It's absolutely important that your voice is heard at this event, so make sure to lean into those table topic sessions. Then it's time to check out the Humans of IT. These are sessions designed to bring inspiring stories and useful content, especially around the topics of health and wellness, with sessions like productivity tips and tricks for the age of digital overload or mental health check-in power app. Using tech to manage anxiety and build community. That's just some of the topics that are available. Whatever you do, make sure to help participate in these sessions and to have a well-rounded experience here at Microsoft Ignite.
Now let's go ahead and jump inside the session catalog over here. Now the session catalog, when you're going to be looking for different things, you're able to go through and obviously chronologically look and see what's available to go off and see. Now you'll notice that some of the sessions are already added for you, like the Keynote with Satya Nadella, it's coming up very soon. Or maybe Jared's session talking about the hybrid workplace. Those are already in place, those are all ready to go. Now if you wanted to go through and do some searches, I would suggest you go to do the refine results, and then you were mentioning Table Talks, and I was mentioning Table Talks, you were mentioning the Humans of IT. You can go through session type and then go and search for individual sessions, featured sessions, or stuff inside of the Learning Zone, or even studio interviews. Once you go through and do a filtration on that, it gives you a smaller view that you can go through and possibly add to schedule, which adds it to your local schedule. It does always display the date and time in your local time zone, which is very handy to be able to do. And if it just so happens that you've already got something in that particular slot, you can always go through and save it to your backpack. Now, it's almost time to officially kick things off with the opening of the keynote from Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, and this is going to be very, very special. Make sure that you grab your VR device to be able to experience the keynote through mixed reality if you're a member and can join up and go take a look at AltSpace VR.
This is just one of the ways that we're working to make Microsoft Ignite an immersive digital experience. These are things that are fingertips, but they're at yours as well. Then, just a short time after the opening keynote, are back-to-back keynotes. First is the Hybrid Workplace keynote with Corporate Vice President of Microsoft 365, Jared Spataro, followed by the Security for All keynote with Vaso Jakal, Corporate Vice President of Microsoft Security, Compliance, and Identity. That is a powerhouse lineup.
Now, I said it once, I'm going to say it again. Remember to come back here to this stream in between keynotes and in between featured sessions. We're going to be here to help you navigate the event, and we've got a lot in store, including some fireside chats with Panos Panay and Rowan Sones. Two people that have a lot to say and to be able to gear up for that particular conversation.
Another one I'm looking forward to is the ultimate Microsoft 365 demo with Jason Gregory.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Later this afternoon, I'm actually going to be able to sit down with a fan favorite and a mentor of mine, the one and only technical fellow and CTO of Azure, Mark Rusinovich, for an extended interview.
Such an amazing day one here at Microsoft Ignite, and we're so glad to be with you on this journey. So much of Microsoft Ignite is about innovation. What really brings us together here is the innovation that's happening. But that innovation is really happening because of you. When you're going through the sessions and all of the glitz and glamour that we're bringing to you here at Microsoft Ignite, look through to see the meaning and the essence of what we're doing. All of you are impacting people's lives and organizations so deeply. That's the essence of tech with purpose.
Now, all of these fantastic keynotes and sessions are going to undoubtedly include stories from our featured partners and customers. One company bringing their customers' experiences to Microsoft at Ignite is Intel. Let's take a look at some of the stories and some of the things that they have in store for us during the event.
Together, Intel and Microsoft are enabling intelligent solutions that can transform entire industries. We're working with educators to create more connected and consistent learning experiences, reducing fraud with confidential computing for the insurance and financial industries, using AI to turn mountains of healthcare data into better patient outcomes. And we're bringing the power of computer vision to the edge to help companies deliver higher quality products and services. The future of intelligent solutions is here today.
I'm Stephen Rose, your host of Inside Microsoft Teams, and I have just 60 seconds to share with you why you should check out our show. So, number one, where else are you going to find guests like?
Hey, Jeff, how you doing? Great to see you.
Good, Stephen. How are you?
From Lego, Michael Ulrich Paula, calling in from Warsaw, no less. Mary Jo Foley, ZDNet All About Microsoft blog.
Talking about great topics like these.
What suggestions do you have around Teams Sprawl?
Edit the order of your icons.
But it's also really important to make sure the teachers are having a learning journey as well.
Building an Oakdale app.
And showing off the coolest Teams room devices like these.
Setting up my own Logitech meetup system.
We're going to take a look at the new PolySync 20.
The Bose 700 UC.
We introduce you to the experts. We share the IT Pro Insider view to help you plan, pilot, deploy, manage, and secure Microsoft Teams successfully. aka.ms/inside MS Teams, and add our show dates to your calendar.
For sessions, demos, and even exclusive offers from our partners, make sure to stop by the Featured Partner Showcase. Find that by clicking the Featured Partner link above this player.
Now, another place to look out for during the event, as we mentioned, is known as the Learning Zone. The Learning Zone is going to be someplace I want to give you a quick little shot of right now. But before we get there, I've actually asked a friend of mine, Abel Wang, the director of DevOps, if you will, here at Microsoft, is going to give us a little bit of a shout out. Take a look.
Hi, my name is Abel, Principal Cloud Advocate and the DevOps Lead at Microsoft. Hey man, it looks like you found the Learning Zone at Ignite. So this is our center for learning and development with activities dedicated to training and certification. Now, I don't know about you all, but personally, I love getting my hands dirty while I'm learning. And if you do too, Learn Live might be a great option for you. These are guided sessions where we'll provide subject matter experts to walk you through Microsoft Learn modules along with a group of your peers. So sign in, follow along, ask questions to get through it, and have some fun. Now, we've curated a wide selection of topics, including things like Azure, Microsoft Teams, Power Platform, and security. So there should be something for everyone. So go check out Learn Live options on the schedule. Now, if you happen to miss these sessions live, don't worry about it, because they will be recorded and posted for on-demand viewing. And you can always tune in to Learn TV after Microsoft Ignite to see new episodes as part of our regular programming. Make sure you add these opportunities to your schedule, and as always, you can go to Microsoft Learn Today, and from there, check out the full catalog of training options to advance your technical skills while earning achievements.
Hello World.
Hello World.
Hello World.
Hello World.
Hello World is a new daily show.
Every Monday through Friday on Microsoft's Learn TV.
It's like a morning show that you catch when you want for everybody around the globe.
It's a show by the people, for the people.
It's a celebration in human creativity.
We'll be bringing you exciting segments such as WinDevBox, Azure Fun Bites,
Open Source Project,
Humans of Microsoft,
the MVP Spotlight, 24 Hertz,
recent headlines.
We'll have challenges for you.
We are Hello World, and we are live weekdays on Learn TV.
Throughout today's event, we'll be checking in with our Twitter feed to see what you're talking about on social. Engage with us. Remember to use the hashtag MSIgnite to keep the conversation going. We want to hear your stories, your insights, your reactions as we watch keynote sessions and interviews. So tell us what you're feeling.
So, you know what, with Tagboard and also with Twitter with hashtag MSIgnite, it's always good to kind of start off with some kind of questions. And so I'm curious, if you could share with us using the hashtag MSIgnite, what's kind of the thing that's going to be most exciting for you during Microsoft Ignite? What are you anticipating people to come up and to see? I mean, on the board right now, obviously I can see a good friend of mine out in Florida, Richard Hayes, talking about Stephen Rowe's promo and talking about the show that he does with regards to Teams deployment and other things like that. Good things coming from Stephen, as always.
Stephen's amazing. All the work that he's done is so great. I just love seeing where everyone is watching this show from. Someone saying, look, we're in their living room. That's amazing. Thank you. Thank you for having us in your living room. Keep those pictures of where you're watching coming. We love to see it.
Yeah, and then again, I got a good shout out here for our friend Donna Sarkar, who's going to be joining us later this afternoon. She's actually got it up and running on her system as well. And again, hashtag MSIgnite is where we're following and where we're looking at for these different interactions. Feel free to tweet us. I'm at @RicksterCDN if you wanted to connect up with me. And even some people outside catching this on headphones as they're going for walks as well.
It's good. You have to stay healthy, right? This is the perfect event to do that. I totally agree. Oh, look, I think we have a friend here too. Yep, they've got the hotel treadmill, but instead now we have folks outside, and I just think that that's really fun.
Nice. I'm gonna just go ahead and just quickly take a shot
look
of
at
us
you.
here.
Socially distanced selfie.
It's funny, it actually picked up the Adams picture as a face as well in there. I'm going to go ahead and post that one there in just a second during a break, not right now.
Yeah, exactly.
To be able to go up to hashtag MSIgnite. So don't forget, we've asked you the question, what is the thing that you're going to be most excited about for seeing here at Microsoft Ignite? Give us your responses along with the hashtag MSIgnite, and we're going to be dropping into this particular little user interface of this tag board to be able to check in and see how things are going.
But if you have a burning question, we've got experts ready to answer in chat, which you'll see right next to this player. And hey, if you don't see it, make sure to register and log in. That's really going to get you the full experience.
Right. And as we've seen as well during the event, our featured partners have also brought some incredible customer stories to share here at Microsoft Ignite. So next up, let's take a look at this video that showcases how the partnership between Microsoft and our featured partner Netapp is yielding truly incredible results. Play that tape.
We have delivered in 2020 a phenomenal year with achieving cost savings, but on the other side also important new business capabilities. Millions of savings, but also millions of growth based on the Azure Netapp environment.
Kona's operations relies on data. Our strategy was simple: lower runtime cost for our big SAP investment. Azure Netapp files has been critical for our virtual migration.
To see the cost savings come through gaining new capabilities was spectacular.
The recent explosion of data and cloud computing is propelling the rapid growth of artificial intelligence. With valuable advances in AI speech recognition, computer vision, and natural language understanding, we've been helping organizations bring the latest AI capabilities to everyone to respond to the current disruption and redefine their business for the future. But our industry is reaching the limitations of what is possible with traditional AI development tools and methods. To achieve the next level of AI advancement, we need a paradigm shift. At Microsoft, we're pioneering a new approach to AI that's fueling the next generation of software innovation at scale. As part of our AI at Scale initiative, we've reimagined the AI stack, from hardware to software, networking, and pre-trained models, and are making every layer of this cutting-edge technology available to anyone to innovate on top of and customize the latest AI advancements for their unique business scenarios. We've also built the latest transformational AI at Scale capabilities right into our products, such as Office, Dynamics, and more, that any business can harness today across their organization. And this is just the beginning. As we accelerate our own AI evolution and abilities, we'll continue to share our breakthroughs and invite you to join us in leveraging the power of AI at scale for your business as together we solve some of the globe's most challenging problems. Learn how you can apply the power of AI at scale to your business today.
Later this morning, Mitra Azizurad brings us Envisioning Tomorrow Innovation Keynote. Looks like the woman herself is standing by with more information about what's in store. Take a look.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited for the day ahead. I'm getting ready for my Envisioning Tomorrow keynote at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we have got some incredible innovation to share with you. And because we think the only thing better than getting a peek into the future is getting the opportunity to experience it, this keynote has the distinction of being the most interactive one I've ever done. You'll see a massive AI model in action. You can pilot a virtual drone on stage, and you'll even be able to control the weather. And who doesn't want to do that? Our goal is to inspire you and get your imagination supercharged with our latest groundbreaking technologies to help you accelerate your innovation and get ready to have a ton of fun at the same time. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Looking forward to seeing you all at my keynote.
Now, it's time to jump into our first keynote of Microsoft Ignite with Satya. Hopefully, in case you're into the VR world, you've got your VR gear ready to go. If you do, head on over to AltSpace VR to get the full experience of what's going to be going on. Or, if you want, you can just stay here and keep on with us in the stream.
Lots of news and announcements on the remote way. Remember, all the content you see will be available on demand after the event. So make sure to save the keynotes and sessions you're interested in your backpack for future review.
Now, the backpack's a really handy thing to be able to use. And just to make sure people understand, just like you're going to be going in and adding sessions to your schedule, you have the option of also going in and adding it to your backpack, which gives you a downloadable reference file of all the different options and all the different sessions that you decided to save. So
you can save people, sessions, the content, and then you'll just have it at your fingertips to go through.
Right.
I always tell my champions also, you can share it with your champion team, right? In case you're sharing the information that's across all the different family of services that we'll be talking about today.
Right. And just as a quick reminder as well, if you wanted to try out the VR piece, you don't even have to have the hardware. You can actually just go to AltSpace VR and sign up, and you get a 2D experience that also is immersive, kind of like a first-person shooter, if you will, to see what it's like, and you can still sign up and go ahead and take a look at that. There's some really, really cool innovations that are going to be going on in there.
Are you a real gamer, Rick?
Well, it's been known to be a way to kind of pass the hours and, more importantly, stay connected during this time we've been going through for the last year. So my online gaming's kind of picked up a little bit.
Oh, that's good. I wish I had that time. I'm trying to do more online yoga and things like that because I tend to sit a lot. So health and wellness, very important. Keep yourself hydrated, move around.
Yeah, so we've got good sections of content that's going to be going on, as you mentioned, in the Humans of IT that's coming up during the regular scheduled time. But, take breaks. Take time, go ahead and recenter and connect back up with us here at the stream. We've got some really cool stuff coming up in this particular keynote. We can't share what it's about. Yeah, a little bit of a look at it, but we'll be doing a little bit of a recap after the fact.
Absolutely. Well, it's exciting. I know that much for sure. Informative and inspirational. And, I just want everyone to remember that when you're here, yes, it's about the technology, but it's also about the community of people on Twitter, in chat, in the connection zone, all of the places that you can connect with other people, just like we did when we were in person. So I'm just incredibly happy to be here. And I think it's an honor to get to host this show, especially with you, and bring everyone together. So, and the crew here is amazing. I'm just going to, at the top of the show, shout out for them because I just have never seen so many folks work so hard with a purpose.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I will also comment as well, everyone's doing a great job with being able to practice social distancing, maintain a safety buffer around everybody. So everyone down here at the studio is doing a great job and also supporting us with everything that we do, too. It's awesome.
100%. But it's all about the amazing content that you're going to see here at Microsoft Ignite. So we're incredibly happy to have you here with us, but we're pleased more so that you are giving us your time and attention because we know that there's competing things that you probably need to be doing, but instead you're here with us. So we just want to appreciate you for that and make sure that you know that we're going to earn your eyeballs today for sure. We're so pleased that you're here with with us at Microsoft Ignite. And so now I have the pleasure of putting it over to Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella.
Good morning and welcome to Ignite. I want to start by saying a big thank you. In this unprecedented, complicated, and very hard year, you have helped the world overcome the most unimaginable constraints. Your hard work combined with today's digital technology is helping fuel our global economy and society in one of its greatest moments of needs. So thank you. Without that tenacity, resilience, and the work each of you as IT professionals, developers, system administrators, data analysts, and professionals across every function, I even shudder to think where we would be but for your work. So I'm deeply, deeply grateful and thank you. The past year has brought the most significant change in our society and economy in modern history. And the cloud has been key to helping the world not only adapt, but innovate. We've witnessed a second wave of digital transformation sweeping every company in every industry, from healthcare to digital twins in manufacturing, to remote work and learning across organizations in every industry. We are accelerating their digital initiatives to build resilience and transform. The true test of technology has always been whether it can help organizations improve their time to value, increase agility, and reduce costs. But as the world recovers, it will require much more from technology, and the cloud in particular, to help address our most pressing challenges and ensure that nobody is left behind. Over a decade ago, we declared we were all in on the cloud because we understood its transformational promise and the opportunity it would create for every organization. And today, it's time for us to reflect on how the cloud will change over the next decade and the innovation our changing world will require from the cloud. We will need to foundationally transform how cloud can drive the next level of broad economic growth that everyone can participate in. To accomplish this, there are 5 key attributes that will drive this next generation of innovation in the cloud. First, ubiquitous and decentralized computing. Every organization, small or large, in every industry, in every country will require more ubiquitous and more decentralized compute power. We're going through a radical change in computing architecture, from the materials to semiconductors to the systems, from the cloud to its edge. The result of all this will be continued exponential growth in compute capacity. However, we are at peak centralization right now. As computing becomes embedded everywhere in our world, transforming how we interact with people, places, and things, and as physical and digital worlds converge, we will require more sovereignty and decentralized control. Cloud and edge computing will evolve to meet all of these real-world needs. Second, sovereign data and ambient intelligence. The volume, variety, and velocity of data will go through explosive growth in the cloud and in particularly at the edge, driving that decentralized architecture of compute I just talked about. In this world, data will be more private, more sovereign. Data governance and provenance will take on new importance. Large-scale, multimodal models will become first-class platforms unto themselves, creating that ambient intelligence all around us. We will develop new methods of federated machine learning to drive the next generation of personalized and yet privacy-preserving services. Business logic will move from being code that is written to being code that is learned from data, creating a complete new generation of business process and productivity systems. We will also see this new software-to-O approach being foundational to tackling these massive unsolved challenges from personalized medicine to carbon recapture. In the AI we create, using all this enormous power of the cloud, we will look for increasing levels of predictive and analytical power, common sense reasoning, alignment with human preferences, and perhaps most importantly, augmenting human capability. Third, empowered creators and communities everywhere. Our economy will find a new balance between consumption and creation. In the last decade, we saw several tech advances that drove more consumption, from browsing, more shopping, more binge watching, and behind all of this is creation. We believe the next decade will require technology advances that radically democratize creation. We will need to expand access to skills, tools, and platforms, as well as connections and collaboration across communities so that everyone can create. Whether it's building a virtual world, students working on an assignment with short-form videos, knowledge workers creating formulas in spreadsheets, pro developers writing code, or domain experts using low-code tools to build applications. This democratization of creation will drive new innovation in end-user computing. Form and function of our devices will be reimagined across the stack, from silicon to the operating system to the experiences themselves. And these computing experiences will be further amplified by communities that learn from each other, build on each other, and further amplify and accelerate creation. Fourth, expanded economic opportunity for every member of the global workforce. We need to create these continuous feedback loops between the work, skills, learning, and credentials required, both for the jobs of today and tomorrow. We need to define productivity much more broadly, inclusive of collaboration, learning, and well-being, to drive career advancement for every worker, including frontline and knowledge workers, as well as for new graduates and those who are in the workforce today. All this needs to be done with flexibility in when, where, and how people work. Fifth, trust by design. Fundamentally, a technology provider should succeed only when it helps the world around it succeed. No one wants to build technology that rapidly scales but breaks the world around us. And no customer wants to be dependent on a provider that sells them technology on one end and competes with them on the other. We need to have ethical principles govern the design, development, and deployment of AI. Our technology needs to be secure by design and promote zero trust architectural principles. We need to build technology with the design intent to protect the fundamental rights of all people, including privacy, and strengthening these institutions we all depend on for our livelihoods and well-being. And we need tech advancements that protect our most finite resource, our planet. Every organization will need to harness these 5 attributes to build their own digital tech intensity, so they can create proprietary technology required to generate durable competitive advantage. They will need not only to adopt technology, but build their own technology. These cloud advances are what will enable every organization in every sector to create that broad economic surplus in every community, in every country. A cloud that helps small businesses become more productive, multinationals more competitive, nonprofits more effective, and governments more efficient. That improves healthcare and educational outcomes, amplifies human ingenuity, and allows people everywhere to reach higher. This is what the Microsoft Cloud delivers, and it underlies everything we will show you this week. The Microsoft Cloud is built to accelerate your transformation today and going forward. There is no better example of this than the rapid changes we have seen over the past year in how people use technology to communicate, to collaborate, and create. For those of us who have had the privilege of working from home, digital technology has made it possible. And for those who need to be at the workplace, including the many essential frontline workers, technology has helped them keep our society and economy functioning in the midst of this pandemic. As the world recovers, there's no going back. Employee expectations are changing, and flexibility will be key. And that's why we are building Microsoft Teams as an organizing layer for all the ways we work, the modes of communication, collaboration, and the ability to extend it with other apps and services. With Teams, we are ensuring that people can collaborate inside and outside the organization, that they can learn in the context of their work, and that they can retain and build new social capital. And we are empowering both frontline and knowledge workers to work together in new ways. We want to ensure everyone can be seen and be heard and fully participate, whether they are at home, in a meeting room, at the office, or at the factory floor. For example, just imagine joining a meeting remotely and being able to see everyone in the room as though you were seated at the conference table with them. Imagine if you were able to draw on the same whiteboard together. And imagine if you're always able to identify who's speaking while maintaining eye contact. That's some of what you will see today when we talk about what's coming next for Microsoft 365 and Teams. We'll also see the digital and physical worlds come together with mixed reality to help people stay connected when they are apart. A year ago, we shipped HoloLens 2. It's been amazing to see the ingenuity of people and businesses everywhere applying this technology to transcend space and address complex challenges in their industries. Take Dr. Michael Marin, a vascular surgeon at Mount Sinai Hospital in New York City. A world away in eastern Uganda, communities haven't had access to advanced medical care. But now, using HoloLens 2, along with Dynamics 365 Remote Assist and Teams, Dr. Marin is able to coach a surgeon doing a complex procedure 7,000 miles away in real time, expanding access to specialized knowledge and resources, and overcoming disparities in care. We've also seen frontline workers around the world using mixed reality to learn new skills, advance their careers, and drive productivity gains. At Kruger Paper Mill in Montreal, employees have used HoloLens 2 and Dynamics 365 guides to learn on the job. The impact has been transformational. Donald Susi, who worked at the mill for 30 years, has been able to capture all of the long-standing workplace wisdom and institutional knowledge and pass it on to new colleagues, accelerating the onboarding process and helping them take on complex tasks faster than ever. And because information is delivered holographically right where the work happens, Kruger has been able to improve employee safety and avoid production slowdowns. These examples are just the beginning of what's possible when you connect the bits we build with the atoms of the real world. Today, we are thrilled to take that next step, announcing a new mixed reality platform, Microsoft Mesh. Think about what Xbox Live did for gaming. We went from single player to multiplayer, creating communities that help people connect and achieve together. Now just imagine if the same thing happened with mixed reality. Mesh enables you to interact holographically with others with true presence in a natural way. For example, I can join a birthday celebration with my extended family in India, interacting as if we were physically together without any screens between us. Or I can meet my colleagues on the other side of the world, collaborating as though we were in the same room. Again, with no screen mediating our interactions. It's pretty mind-boggling to imagine, but this is the future we are building. One of my favorite lines we used to describe the possibilities when we first introduced HoloLens was, when you change the way you see the world, you change the world you see. I can't wait to see the world we create together. And now let me turn it over to Alex Kipman to start us off. Thank you all very much and have a fantastic Ignite.
Tomorrow stands a chance to be even better than today, thanks to one thing. When you fall under its spell, even though words may elude you, you'll race to the rooftops to share it. It's a force that draws us to each other, a glue that holds us together, a siren that beckons others to join us. It's a feeling that's eternally optimistic and forever inquisitive. Asking, what if? Why not? And how soon? It beckons us to explore, and to break new ground. It gives us depth and breadth to our understanding. It helps us see perspectives outside of our own. It's the indestructible sense of wonder inside each of us. And with it, the aspiration to share a world far greater than ourselves.
A dream you dream alone is only a dream. A dream we dream together is called reality. When you have a dream, chances are there's someone else right over there, and there, who share the same dream. But each of us dreaming it just a little bit differently. The process of collaborating with others is how we discover the little different bits, the excitement and the energy, the diverse skills and viewpoints that bring everyone together. When we share in a dream, everyone can be equally excited, equally motivated, and perhaps even equally consumed by the shared dream. But we tend to think of reality and dreaming as separate. But are they really? Today is about showing how we can help transport dreams from here to there, out into the world without compromise, exactly as they were imagined. And when they are there, we can share them with others to explore and communicate, to mold and collaborate, to enjoy together. This is a new way to dream and a new type of computing, one that makes dreams a shared reality. And to accelerate this collaborative computing future, I am proud to welcome all of you to Microsoft Mesh. Today, you and I make history as we collaborate on the largest mixed reality show ever created. Microsoft Mesh connects the physical and the digital worlds, allowing us to transcend the traditional boundaries of space and time. Microsoft Mesh is powered by Azure and all of its AI and compute capabilities, working seamlessly together from the intelligent edge to the intelligent cloud. It promises to take us to brand new frontiers by enabling developers to create rich and immersive experiences. Experiences that let us, 1, connect from anywhere. All of us sharing every moment and every hologram across augmented reality, virtual reality, and even traditional 2D devices. 2, Microsoft Mesh will give us agency, from avatars to holoportations, letting us feel true presence in mixed reality. And lastly, Microsoft Mesh will let us experience mixed reality together in instinctual and collaborative ways. Microsoft Mesh is integrated with the Microsoft Cloud, so workflows naturally transition from the familiar 2D mediums to the world of mixed reality. Which, by the way, brings me to this amazing underwater scene. Thank you, by the way, for creating this incredible and inspiring underwater world. I mean, look at it. It's wow. Did you have fun doing it? As your host, I cannot express how energizing it is to see each of you expressing all of your emotions with holograms. Microsoft Mesh will empower you and your businesses to learn, to play, to work together naturally, no matter the task, no matter the location. Let's take a look.
Connection is a spark that gives our lives meaning. It drives us to seek out others who feel the same way.
Okay, why don't you input the data and we'll take a look together. Hey Mari, what you got for me?
To find those who share our views, yet offer different perspectives.
そうですね. Look over here.
Challenge us with new ways of seeing.
But I think we should.
Deepen our understanding. And enrich our lives.
最后一笔的时候，往前。
Great things happen when we commit to something bigger than ourselves.
Let's take a closer look at it.
Place this here. Let's see how we go from there, okay?
This sense of collaboration and the feelings of connection it brings excites us.
Hey, just in time. I'm gonna move it slightly, okay?
It's yours, take it.
We have 2 planes right now on the same trajectory.
As we put people first, technology fades into the background and feels like anything but.
Aisha, what do you think?
I think if we had 330, maintaining 2800, we'll be clear for approach.
Excellent.
This changes the way we see the world, and in turn, changes the world we see.
These numbers are looking great, actually.
There's promise in the possibilities, and what we see and create next will stretch the imagination.
Good morning, Sarah.
Morning.
Slowly coming towards the thumb.
A world without boundaries.
Good job. A lot better than yesterday.
Yeah.
Excellent. Slowly bring the
A world where technology enhances, not limits, humanity. With people front, center, and in the spotlight. The future is here. And here can be anywhere. Introducing Microsoft Mesh.
Envision a world where mesh-enabled applications from our partners and from Microsoft fuel this generation's collaborative computing needs. Envision a mesh-enabled Microsoft Teams where colleagues from around the globe can collaborate as if they're physically there. And in a world of hybrid work where here can literally be anywhere, and headquarters are no longer tied to a single physical location, Mesh will allow organizations to host mixed reality gatherings with everyone in the same room. Envision a Mesh-enabled Dynamics 365. People will be able to learn together from anywhere, sharing the common perspectives so critical when learning complex topics. Envision frontline workers and how they will have access to remote experts everywhere they're needed, sharing insights quickly and effectively, ultimately keeping people safer and resolving issues faster. Microsoft Mesh builds upon our mixed reality services, which have seen incredible developer adoption. And today, I am really excited to announce the public preview of Azure Object Anchors and general availability of Azure Remote Rendering. To all of our supporters, partners, and fans around the world, thank you. We started this journey together, and it's because of you, your great feedback, and your enthusiasm that we are experiencing such great mixed reality momentum. Today, in manufacturing, retail, and healthcare, over 90% of companies with more than 500 employees are currently using or prototyping with mixed reality. And half of the Fortune 500 companies have now purchased HoloLens 2. Leading brands such as Mercedes, Intel, Airbus, and L'Oreal have deployed at scale HoloLens 2 powered solutions. Across industries, the numbers speak for themselves. Take Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin has reduced their touch labor by 90%. What used to take an 8-hour shift to complete can now be done error-free in 45 minutes. Take Toyota. Toyota has embraced HoloLens, Dynamics 365 Remote Assist, and our mixed reality services to improve maintenance efficiency, and to differentiate on customer service. Their most recent mixed reality solution enables technicians to intuitively access, via Azure object anchors, wiring and structure information of specific car models while working on the actual vehicle. As a result, this is reducing the time spent doing inspections by as much as 20%. A significant return on investment, which has them rolling out this HoloLens 2 solution to all of their dealerships across Japan. Take Bentley Systems as another example. Bentley Systems is a global leader in software for architecture, engineering, and construction. And they're using HoloLens 2 and our mixed reality services to improve bridge inspections. In the United States alone, there are more than 600,000 bridges, a key part of the infrastructure that keeps our country running. Using drones to capture high-resolution images, Bentley can create precise digital twins for the bridge. Now, because details matter when doing inspections, Bentley is using Azure Remote Rendering to enable real-time, high-fidelity renderings, allowing multiple experts to view large sections of the bridge, all at the same time. Leveraging this Bentley solution on a HoloLens device, inspectors at Collins Engineers can visualize sections of the bridge. They can add spatial notes, annotations, dimensions, or other markings to provide detailed contextual information for the structure. And in the process, they can save 40% of labor costs for each inspection they make. And local and state government agencies can follow in the footsteps of the Minnesota Department of Transportation, who is working with Collins Engineers to save an estimated $4 million per year, savings that can be repurposed to fix even more of their aging infrastructure. And when mesh-enabled, all of these solutions can now be transformed from solitary to collaborative mixed reality experiences. Mixed reality experiences where you have the freedom to use the device of your choice. Because Mesh will work on HoloLens 2, Windows virtual reality headsets, Oculus headsets, PCs, Macs, and even smartphones. Take Accenture as an example. They are experimenting with hybrid workflows that increase accessibility, champion remote collaboration, and encourage sustainability by minimizing unnecessary travel. With a mesh-enabled alt space, Accenture is evolving their employee experience by creating a headquarters. They call it the Nth Floor. Now, this is available for everyone for onboarding, learning, and the type of human connection we are all missing right now. With AltSpace, everyone knows the Nth Floor is just a tap away. But what happens when you go beyond the enterprise? Collaboration doesn't just take place in enterprise settings. Sometimes we just call it hanging out with friends. With Microsoft Mesh, you can connect from any device on any platform, transforming the way we connect to one another, enabling hanging out wherever your friends are. And when here can be anywhere, the entire planet becomes your playground. Many companies are exploring and experimenting with this notion of experiencing mixed reality together. But I think we can all agree that there is one company that stands out with its real-world AR experiences. I have been a huge fan of Niantic for a very long time. I just love their ambition to build planet-scale AR experiences, experiences that connect people from all over the world. And to share more about their vision, please welcome CEO and founder of Niantic, John Hanke.
Thanks, Alex. I'm thrilled to be here and to hear all about the latest innovations in AI and mixed reality. We share a common aspiration to use technology to bridge the digital world with the physical one. From the very beginning, our work at Niantic has been designed to inspire people to get outside, play, and explore together. Underpinning this mission is our ongoing effort to create the tools and technology to connect the real world, the atoms, and the digital one, the bits, to create magical experiences. Our games have already encouraged hundreds of millions of people to explore the world together. In fact, most people's first AR experience was probably Pokemon Go. Since launching in 2016, we've seen massive numbers of people around the world connect through the game, ranging from families exploring their neighborhood to tens of thousands gathering at our events to play and celebrate together. We're incredibly motivated by the stories we hear from Niantic explorers about how a game has helped them feel happier, healthier, and better connected to one another and to their local communities. This gives us reason to feel optimistic that technology, and AR in particular, can be channeled to make a positive impact on the world. As exciting as this journey's been, we're even more excited about the next phase as we think about bringing these experiences to future generations of AR hardware. And that brings us to why we're here today. We share a common vision with Microsoft for creating real social connections in a digitally enhanced world. We're excited to be collaborating with Microsoft in this area to move the industry forward.
That's right, John. By mirroring our industry-leading HoloLens devices and our new mesh capabilities, with Niantic's market-leading applications, we can give people entirely new ways to interact with each other and the world.
We've already started working on what this might look like, and we're excited to show a proof-of-concept demo of Pokemon Go on HoloLens. This is not intended for consumer use yet, but it gives you a glimpse into the amazing possibilities when we combine advanced AR with exploration and social gameplay in the real world.
Thanks, Alex. I'm here in the gardens at Lake Merritt.
This is so great. It's like I'm actually here, John.
Welcome. This is amazing, and it's what I'm so excited about. Enabling friends to play and explore the world together, no matter where they are. I'm gonna have a look around.
I'm excited to join you in this adventure.
There are quite a few Pokemon appearing around here. Let's take a walk. Whether you're exploring a brand new park or just walking through a familiar neighborhood, augmented reality can make the real world a little more magical. In the future, we imagine a real world filled with adventures, helpful information, and of course, a lot of friends. Hey, Pikachu. Here you go. AR that's grounded in the real world, aware of us and the environment, is an incredibly powerful starting point, and it becomes even more powerful when we can share it. Someone I know is here now. Hey, Veronica.
Hi, John. Do you want to battle?
I don't know, Veronica. This usually doesn't end well for me, but I'm game.
What's important is to never give up, even if you lose. Let's get ready.
Let's go.
This battle is going to take a while. Thank you, John, and thank you, Veronica. I'm so excited for our Niantic partnership. Great things happen when we commit to something bigger than ourselves. Our shared sense of collaboration and the feeling of human connection it brings inspires me. I get inspired and motivated about opportunities where we can add our energy and capabilities to empower people and organizations around the globe to achieve their missions. And when the mission at hand has global benefit that impacts environmental understanding, conservation, and global ecology, not to mention has deep impact in education and science, I'm not only inspired by it, but also proud to be part of the journey. Pride. that I like to invite Dr. Edith Weider and Dr. Vincent Pierbone to tell us their stories as they push to understand one of the least explored, most mysterious, and most essential worlds we have ever known, our oceans. Dr. Edith Weider is a biologist and deep sea explorer who combines expertise in oceanographic research and technological innovation with a commitment to reversing the worldwide trend of marine ecosystem degradation. Dr. Vincent Pierbone is a neuroscientist and researcher at Yale University. He is also vice chairman of the organization that is pushing the limits of technology and at-sea research called OceanX.
I became a scientist because I love exploring and being on a frontier, but I always thought it would be an intellectual frontier. If you ever get the chance, take a dive in a submersible and turn out the lights. Every dive I've ever made has been a journey into a wild and alien realm. It's a world within our world, one that we still know surprisingly little about. I mean, how is it possible that a creature as tall as a 4-story building managed to elude us for so long? What a strange existence for life down here. You've seen it, Vincent. Everything looks different. The instant you pass from air into water, you see it. It's all so changed. The warm colors disappear. As you descend, it goes from blue-green to blue to smoky navy until you pass the edge of darkness around 500 meters, and a new kind of light appears, living light. Seeing all that light on my first submersible dive more than 3 decades ago changed my life. All around me were animals flashing and glowing, a world of wonder vibrating with life and light. It was thrilling and mysterious and filled me with questions about all the strange ways light seems to function in this world.
Yeah, I did my first submersible dive during an expedition to the Solomon Islands. And there we witnessed a magnificent and unforgettable nighttime display of bioluminescent flashlight fish. All of this light is a language that animals in the deep sea use to communicate in one way or the other. And we're just beginning to understand those.
Some, like sea fireflies, eject champagne bubble lights to attract a mate. Others, like those flashlight fish you saw, Vince, use it in a variety of ways, including to move together in schools at night.
And others use it like a trap, like the anglerfish that using a glowing lure to attract its food, a bioluminescent bobble that dangles in front of its hidden maw.
And so we wondered, could we use the same anglerfish approach to draw in the elusive giant squid? Is there a light signal that might convince the giant squid to make an appearance? It was on OceanX's Aleutian, operating off Japan in 2012, that we tried just this. Our electronic jellyfish lure worked its greatest magic, attracting the most famous squid of all, the legendary giant squid. No science fiction writer could concoct a more fantastic alien. 8 muscular arms plus 2 insanely long tentacles, all growing out of a massive cone-shaped head, a parrot-like beak that can rip flesh, a jet propulsion system that works equally well in forward or reverse, and gargantuan eyes, bigger than those of any other animal on Earth. I think those amazing eyes are the reason we had never managed to film a giant squid in its deep sea world. We were scaring them away with all our bright lights and noisy thrusters on submersibles and remote operated vehicles. It's the process of applying new technology and new ways of exploring that enables us to make these new, incredible discoveries.
Yeah, and now more than ever, the importance of these discoveries are front and center in our changing world. OceanX was born out of this remarkable passion and excitement to explore the unknown. Over the past 3 years, we've designed and built a massive, brand new, one-of-a-kind research ship called Ocean Explorer, with the mission to take ocean exploration to the next level. We gathered oceanographers, marine scientists, filmmakers from all over the world to help us build the ultimate research and exploration ship. Every aspect of the vessel design was thought out to maximize ocean science and media production. From planning expeditions, to gathering and cataloging samples, to genetic sequencing, we can do it all without having to go back to shore. We have submersibles, deep-sea robots, a helicopter, and multiple wet and dry laboratories. With our world-class crew, Ocean Explorer enables us to conduct multiple research projects at the same time.
And these tools are a dream for scientists like Vincent and myself. Ocean Explorer is basically a state-of-the-art, complete research laboratory in almost a full, living, floating city.
And we've developed a brand new part of our ship that we call HoloLab. In the HoloLab, we bring this data together to visualize and analyze in three-dimensional space. This allows us to understand all of the rich, multidimensional data in a natural, intuitive way. Before, we were limited to 2D screens, and the data was mostly in charts and tables, while humans are sort of inherently respond best to a three-dimensional world. Now we can see the data mapped onto the actual ocean floor and divine how it relates to the underwater canyons and mountain ranges. I can't tell you how valuable it is to see data in the context of the 3D environment. And it isn't just visualizing information. This is a collaborative scientific tool that uses Microsoft Mesh to connect HoloLab with scientists in submersibles on the ship, as well as those back at land. And now with our amazing partners, National Geographic and the BBC, we are setting off to capture exploratory adventures on the ship and release them as a groundbreaking series. All of you can join us to explore and discover in the near future, so stay tuned. And as you know, Edie, one of our first stops will be again to bring us face-to-face to the mysterious giant squid.
Ah, yes. And I remember a remark that pioneering ocean explorer and film director James Cameron once said, "I would have wrapped my submersible in bacon if it would attract a giant squid."
Hi, Jim. Thank you for joining us today.
Hey, Alex. Thanks for having me here. Thanks for beaming me in from New Zealand.
For sure. Now, this beautiful marvel of engineering behind us is the Deep Sea Challenger. Now, you co-designed and co-engineered the submersible and science platform, and with it, you became the first solo pilot in history to dive to the Challenger Deep, the deepest place on the planet, about 7 miles down, if I understand correctly.
Yep.
Now, of course, you weren't focused on first adventure, but rather on advancing deep sea ocean science. Now, the submersible allowed you to sample and image in revolutionary new ways. With camera systems you also, if I understand correctly, you designed. How has technology empowered you scientifically and creatively?
Look, I think almost everything I do in every single day is empowered by technology. Sometimes it's tools that other people have created. Sometimes it's tools that we've had to create for ourselves. So if you have a curious mind like I do, and you want to go places and you want to physically project your body into those places, you build a piloted submersible and you get in it and you go and you assemble a team to do that and to see what's out there and put the pieces together and create new things where you need to. If you want to project your consciousness into a place you can't physically go, like inside the Titanic, you build a small robotic vehicle that spools a fiber optic and you fly it inside there in a kind of avatar experience. So remotely operated vehicles are essentially physical avatars in the physical world. And then of course all the stuff I'm doing with the Avatar movies is both thematically about projecting our minds into other bodies, and it's also about creating a VR universe around us, around our actors, and bringing that world to life in all its detail. And that required whole new tool sets, and those tool sets are constantly evolving. So I would say, short of making my orange juice in the morning, there's not much I can do in a given day that doesn't involve building and iterating these tool sets.
That's absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for sharing. So what are your thoughts on the potential for the HoloLab and your partner OceanX to be enabled to both enable and engage the new generation of ocean explorers through technology?
Well, look, I think there are multi-levels to this, right? So we can put our researchers, our young researchers right there on the Ocean Explorer ship into complex data sets that have been gathered by the ship, maybe gathered by the submersibles. Maybe it's bathymetry and they can plan a dive. They can literally walk around the dive site before they actually go down there. Or they could plan an ROV dive, let's say. Let's say it's too deep for their submersibles and they're going to go down with a remotely operated vehicle. They can see, well, this is canyon terrain. This is going to be difficult. We're going to have to keep the ship in a certain place so that we can see that down there and have good communications with the vehicle for tracking, that sort of thing. So a lot of planning can be done. Now you start overlaying into that data sets of animals that have been seen, maybe squid schools that have been seen on sonar, that sort of thing. Say, this is what we expect to see at this depth. So our researchers can plan their work. But the beauty of it is that they can bring the audience along with them. Now, sure, it'll be a 2D representation, but eventually what I would love is that people, when they're watching our episodes, are actually in this VR experience or some kind of augmented reality experience, and they're seeing a little more of what our researchers saw and experienced at the time. And this is all happening for real. This isn't some showpiece or something that we just put on, as a kind of a visual effect in a science fiction movie. This is an actual tool that's being used. I started using HoloLens in its earlier form with Jet Propulsion Laboratory when we were planning, we were designing and planning a mission to Europa, a lander mission to Europa, for real. So it's been a tool that's been used extensively, but now we're bringing a much bigger audience into it, and a much vaster kind of sea of users into this great VR space that you and I know so well and use, but now we're making it available to everyone.
That's incredible. Thank you for the answer. It's absolutely inspiring to hear you speak. Last question, if I may. More than 30 years ago, On the Abyss, one of my all-time favorite movies, by the way, you developed revolutionary underwater lighting and communication systems. You created, as you talked about in your previous answer, remote observation vehicles to image inside the Titanic, for example. And then you created and pioneer virtual camera systems and other breakthroughs needed to be able to shoot Avatar, which, by the way, is my daughter's all-time favorite movie.
Well, thank you for that.
So basically, you have been living in mixed reality for more than 15 years. Can you tell us a little bit how it feels to be here today with us as a hologram, and what your dreams are for what this technology can actually enable in the future?
Well, look, I can say having been in VR and AR spaces for the last 15 years at least, that there are no negative side effects that I can see. No, I'm kidding. It's actually a great way to work and to create and to co-create with other people. And I think that the sky's the limit on these collaborative VR and AR workspaces. I think your film that you open with shows the possibilities for medicine, for collaboration, for industrial design, engineering, and just for fun. Just for the arts, just for creativity. We've been using it in a very creative way on the Avatar productions for the last few years. The last really, we started in 2005, so it's been coming up on 16 years, and it's constantly improved to the point that it's an absolute joy to work in that space every day. Now, I use a physical camera that I hold in my hands. I don't use the HoloLens, and we don't use that for the actors because we can't obscure their faces, but it's exactly the same set of principles. And you just get used to it. You get used to it. And I see us, in a sense, ultimately transcending our bodies, transcending our borders, transcending our cultures. And that's a great thing. We need that. We need to understand that people in Calcutta and Moscow and Beijing and in the US and the UK, wherever, we all love and want the same things. We're all one big unified team, if you will, planet team of 7 billion. And we've got to crack the code on all these problems that are existential problems that are facing us. And to do that, we've got to break down borders. We don't need walls. We need this. We need this sense of collaboration. We need this sense of togetherness. And This technology can do that, can help do that. It's hard to stand in a place with somebody and share a problem with them or share a joyful moment with them and then think of them as somebody else, someplace else that you don't care about.
Absolutely inspiring, Jim. What a great honor to have you be on stage with us today. I'm super looking forward to being able to watch Avatar 2 whenever it comes out.
So am I.
And I'm super appreciative to see you on stage with us today. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks a lot.
Dreams can connect us. They can give our lives meaning and drive us to seek others who feel the same way. Others who, while sharing our views, offer different perspectives. They challenge us with new ways of seeing. They encourage us to explore, they deepen our understanding, and they enrich our lives. Guy Laliberté, founder of Cirque du Soleil and Luna Rouge, has enriched my life. He's given me perspective. He's become a close friend, and he's a fellow dreamer. For many years now, we have been reflecting on removing barriers from society. We have been dreaming of a world where technology enhances, not limits, the human experience. And it seems that technology is finally catching up, turning our shared dreams into reality. Well, hi, Guy. Nice frog hat. Where are you coming from?
Hi, Alex. Well, I'm coming from the NI World, a new social mixed reality platform that will aim to connect physical and digital experience by leveraging the power of human connections.
Sounds incredible. As a creator, and as someone who has already revolutionized entertainment at least once, what is it about this medium that excites you?
You know, over the years, I've received countless proposals for technology solutions aimed at integrating live and digital experience. But so far, none was able to represent and transmit the magic and emotion of a live performance. I believe with the new Microsoft Mesh platform, combined with 5G technology and cloud computing, we believe that today, the right creative tools are finally available and at our fingertips, allowing us to move forward and invite creative from all over the world into our lab.
That sounds about right. But how do you balance this sense of togetherness that can only come from connecting with other humans, with technology, and our relationship with computers, so that humans and not devices are at the center?
Human connections are at the center of an NI world, as they are and should be at the center of our life. I've traveled the world, and one thing is the same in every part of it. People want to interact with one another, to share and to connect. You know, Alex, I'm 61, and I've decided to be a great ancestor. Entertainment and creativity have always been my language. I'd like my legacy to be a place where all artists could share and showcase their creation, where a user could become partner and creator. I think we're in a great position to achieve this.
I love that vision. But how do you make sense and how do you balance this promise for a brighter future with a far more intimate and meaningful present? People need connection now more than ever, but we live in a world where people are starting to reject and no longer trust, giving away their time and data in return of free access to platforms. How do you connect artists with the community in an alternative way, based on principles of love, respect, and trust?
Alex, I'm a connector. I've been working with artists and building community all my life, at Cirque and in other ventures. I've connected people and brought to life amazing collective accomplishment. An NI World wants to empower artists, allowing them to develop entertainment experience that celebrate the interconnection between humans. We aim to welcome artists and creators ready to share content that can all mix reality at set user and people in physical venue simultaneously. One thing drove all my creative projects so far: emotions. An NI World is no different. And you know, I truly believe this virtual community will permit us to live human experience that might be possible to integrate in the real world. And I think this is for a better world. You know, Alex, I could talk about the subject for many hours. I think it's the moment that I show you a little glimpse of what the NI world spirit could be. Would you like to come with me a little bit? Come on.
And with that, Microsoft Night is officially underway. Welcome back to the studio. I'm Rick Claus, joined here with Kara Hanke. Once again, we're going to be your host for the next couple of hours, which started off on a high note with the opening keynote.
There's so much to unpack. Rick, was your mind blown? Because my mind was blown. What resonated?
I don't even know where to start, honestly.
I know. We're living in the future.
Basically, yes. Basically, definitely in the future. I mean, for me, I like to start off basically kind of with Satya, with some of the stuff that he was talking about with the tech intensity and those 5 different principles of things that are there. The one as an IT pro that kind of resonated with me was this whole concept of dealing with ubiquitous, decentralized computing power and how we're going to have access to that and work with that throughout our coming days that are there.
I think that it provides a fantastic blueprint for business leaders and technology decision makers out there to really understand the components of building their own tech intensity. What resonated for me was the conversation around using this to create your own competitive advantage. I love that we're enabling other organizations to do that and creating clear and fantastic career paths along the way for all of us who are in this business.
Right. And then obviously there's this very large portion with Microsoft Mesh and talking about virtual reality. But even before that, I really love the story that Satya shared about the doctor in Maryland that's able to go in with Dynamics and also Teams and remote capabilities to be able to go through with a HoloLens to be able to help out the doctor in Uganda be able to perform advanced surgeries.
That was mind-blowing for sure, and really meaningful. I mean, think about, this is what I'm talking about, tech with purpose. This is when you can look through all of the hype and really see how we're helping people around the world. And you know, I thought about also this democratization of creation, whether it's assets or code, and that accessibility of the knowledge that they also showed with the example in that manufacturing organization. So I don't know, I feel like this is a moment. This is a type of change that really happens once in a generation, as he said. And I don't know, I feel privileged to live through it. It's a little stressful though too. Many of you out there may feel like it's a little bit stressful, but you know, at the same time, we're going to help you get there with all the different information that we have. That incredible keynote from Satya Nadella and Alex Kipman was a preview of so many more great things that are still ahead.
But those of you that don't have the ability to go through and take a look at those particular keynotes, you know, coming up at 11 o'clock in Pacific time, we're going to bring you the Envisioning Tomorrow section of this particular program with the Corporate Vice President of AI and Innovation, Mira Izizirad.
Mitra says that this is the most interactive keynote she has ever done, which is saying something. There will be a massive AI model in action. You can pilot a virtual drone on stage and control the weather. Both are things I would love to do.
Right, and then plus, there's also going to be some prizes involved with this one here, so you don't want to miss out. Now, personally, I'm going to be looking forward to my chat with Mark Rusinovich that's going to be coming up this afternoon. His session is actually available on demand, and so it's not part of the regular schedule, but you can add it to your backpack and you can find it. But we're going to have a good 25-minute interview to ask him some questions along the 6 different areas that he talked about during his session around what we're doing for data center innovation and also compute innovation and all the different technologies that are inside of it. Some good things are going to be coming up in there.
Those interviews are always great. Since we're getting to talk about personal highlights, coming up in the next hour, we get to speak with Jeff Teeper, Corporate Vice President of Teams and OneDrive and SharePoint. And Jeff is a particular hero of mine. He's been very influential in my career, and I'm excited for him to talk about the technology powering things like Microsoft Teams and Microsoft Viva, the new employee experience platform.
Now, the next 2 days are going to be full of news and announcements from across the Microsoft family of products and solutions. It's also going to be full of opportunities for you to be able to go ahead and connect up with your fellow IT pros and developers and decision makers and just enthusiasts from around the world as well. It might be a good idea to kind of go and take a look a bit at some of this on the website itself at myignite.microsoft.com.
We want you to take full advantage of the journey that's Microsoft Ignite. And the way to do that is to follow these 3 simple steps. Register, fill out your profile, and set your schedule and so you can save it all to your digital backpack. Rick, will you show us inside the venue again?
Sure thing. So I'm already on myignite.microsoft.com, and I can tell that I'm already registered and ready to go because in the top right-hand corner, it obviously starts off with my name and registration. And if you're actually watching this on a different platform, you can always come and join us over here for the full experience at myignite.microsoft.com. Now, you can see here, I'm a little bit of an overachiever. I prefer to have the full 100% achieved as far as completeness of the profile. But this is your public view that you want to share with the other attendees if you choose to opt in to the attendee directory. And most importantly, down here is how you can connect up with me. So for instance, I'm active on LinkedIn. You're welcome to make a connection if you work in the IT business. But then also you can catch my social stuff, you know, when I'm going for a ride outside in my Jeep or doing some smoking with my smoker in the backyard, with Twitter, with Rickster CDN as well. But more importantly, at the bottom, these are the things that I'm personally interested in. This helps me tailor my experience for the different sessions it recommends for me, and also allows me to go through and connect up with other individuals with similar interests. So some very good and easy stuff in there. But I wanted to make sure that I showed you this additional part about the scheduler, which allows you to go through and include participation inside of additional, make my profile available after the event as well, and also sharing my schedule to go through and to find the schedule, find the content I'm looking for, but then make it available for other people for possible hallway conversations. Now, you and I have been talking a little bit about the connection zone. So again, top right-hand corner, choose the connection zone to be able to see a bunch of different content from your featured sessions, like the table talks or local connections as well inside of here. You mentioned the humans of IT, and then at the beginning of the hour, we also talked about the ability to go through and schedule one-on-one consultations if you wanted to as well. This is all the area for where you're going to be able to go off and find all that. And then as well, you've probably heard me talk a couple of times about our featured partners that are going to be sharing their information with us throughout the event. We have a whole section here on featured partners to dive into their experiences with Netapp, with Intel, and with others as well.
There's so much there. Oh my goodness. You know, there's a lot of folks behind the scenes that are working to make this digital venue an accessible and enjoyable place. If you have feedback, we always want to hear the information that you have about it. So keep it coming, share it out on Twitter. Let us know how you feel about this new digital venue. We continue to keep it going. We want you to get the most out of your Microsoft Ignite experience, and we're going to continue to enjoy this journey together as a community.
Now it's time to highlight the tech partnership many of us have available and work with today. Netapp and Microsoft have been have a very long history of working together on different engineering efforts. I know on my team, we worked with them to be able to create some of the new technologies that you're going to be able to use and see today. We're hearing from the folks that are out there that there's a couple of things that they want to go off and take a look at. They want to go off and have access to. So you know what? Let's take a look at how we're combining and working with them to combine their on-premises world with the world inside of Azure to go ahead and to have some of these new markets brought to bear inside of Azure. Go ahead and take a look.
Hey Scott, good to see you at Microsoft Ignite. How you doing today?
Hey, what's up, Jeff?
Many companies are looking for ways to really lower their overall cost obligations in the IT environment. And what we're seeing from them is making that move into Azure. I mean, we see the drive every day of moving into the cloud, but companies making that move into Azure, and they're getting to the point where they're actually moving some of their core central business environments, such as SAP infrastructure, into Azure to really help solve some of these challenges. And you know, what we're seeing here is big drivers that are making this happen. And Scott, I wanted to ask you, what are you seeing from the SAP migration standpoint that's really driving customers to Azure?
We didn't see this happening. And what I mean by this, we didn't see this happening. We didn't see this migration happening as fast as it is. Customers, Fortune 10 companies and down, are doing exactly what you just said. They're migrating their crown jewels, their SAP landscapes into the cloud. I've had the opportunity to speak with partners and customers asking them, like, what is driving this? Some actually said partly because of COVID. They did say these plans were on the roadmap. COVID accelerated it. And the other thing is they want to do transformation. They want to go from R3 to S4HANA, and they want to do that one major shift while going into a public cloud like Azure.
In that whole process, what do you see Netapp and Microsoft doing together that's really helping this?
All teams are working really well together. And what I mean by all teams, Microsoft, and they're also partnering with a lot of the larger SIs as well as the smaller boutiques, helping the end customer migrate. It's a big change. It's a big change for any SAP shop to migrate. It's even a bigger change to do a transformational, going from R3 to S4. What we try to do is try to help lower the complexity, increase your quality, and that's what Azure Netapp Files does for an SAP HANA landscape.
So you mentioned Azure Netapp Files, and from that standpoint, this is a first-party service with Microsoft that Netapp is under the covers, help build the technology. So how do you see Azure Netapp Files helping out in this process?
I was a customer at one point, a long time ago. Azure Netapp Files brings what Netapp has been doing for 20 years to a cloud first-party service. So what I've done from an SAP basis perspective running Netapp, now it's a first-party service built into the Azure portal, brought to you via platform as a service, and it gives you the best of what Netapp has to offer without having to be a storage engineer. It's really cool. It's the best of both worlds.
Oh, that's great. Appreciate that. So if you guys want to learn more about the whole migration and moving the SAP environments into the cloud and learn more about how the Netapp technology and Azure Netapp Files specifically help solve those challenges, you can jump into the Netapp Feature Partner Showcase and learn more, different things that we do to help explain this for you and help you out and see what some of our customers are doing as well.
Later this morning, Mitra Azizirad brings us the Envisioning Tomorrow Innovation Keynote. Let's send it over to Mitra to tell you more about it.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited for the day ahead. I'm getting ready for my Envisioning Tomorrow keynote at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we have got some incredible innovation to share with you. And because we think the only thing better than getting a peek into the future is getting the opportunity to experience it, this keynote has the distinction of being the most interactive one I've ever done. You'll see a massive AI model in action. You can pilot a virtual drone on stage, and you'll even be able to control the weather. And who doesn't want to do that? Our goal is to inspire you and get your imagination supercharged with our latest groundbreaking technologies to help you accelerate your innovation and get ready to have a ton of fun at the same time. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Looking forward to seeing you all at my keynote.
Okay, it's time to check in with all of you. Now, on the internet, we're able to go off and connect up with you using Twitter, and the hashtag is hashtag MSIgnite. Interestingly enough, everybody is going through and showcasing some of the really cool environments that Alex Kipman and Guy Laliberté went ahead and had access to from Cirque du Soleil for combining those different worlds. Great screenshots of going off and visiting. We had a good friend over here, Harjeet, was even talking about how it brings him back to his old Boy Scout days around the campfire.
That's excellent. Microsoft goes Pokemon with HoloLens. Sorry says this right here. I thought this was fun and cool. And think about the learning that you can do with this, but also, gaming is learning. It is fun. And in this immersive environment, I don't know, I just think it takes it to a whole new level.
Oh, absolutely. And the fact that it's augmented reality, it's that you interact with the real world and get to have, bringing out your Pokemon and having a battle there on the spot in the middle of a park is actually really, really cool for that kind of innovation. Also as well, some of this future of mesh, being able to go through and work with different environments, bringing this to Teams meetings perhaps, who knows where things are going to go. It kind of tosses you back to the idea of what Satya was saying about being able to go and visit with his relatives in India and still be part of that same environment. Very, very cool stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely. And, when we think about the applications of this, it's relevant to so many different industries. Getting to see James Cameron there talking about this, as a filmmaker and an explorer, I feel like that's such an important component to think about all the different industries that all this is applicable to. So, it's just, how many times am I going to say awesome? That's going to become a game out there. You have to tweet something.
Awesome.
Yeah, every time I say the word awesome.
Yeah, and a good shout out to my good friend Win Oobs for the Windows Observer, for Richard Hay, talking about how Mesh with Microsoft Mesh is coming in a year of remote work. The ability to go through and extend and help connect that with colleagues and customers in our current isolated environments to kind of bring us together is a very good bridge and a good timely note to that one there. And again, I'm brought back to the same quote that Satya had from his keynote section, talking about when you change the way you see the world, you change the world that you see. Very cool quote.
Absolutely. You know that I'm going to put that up next to my home office desk. Love hearing from all of you and seeing all of your posts. Keep them coming so that we can read them live from here in the studio.
Now, before we continue, we do want to take a moment to talk a little bit about this production that we're very excited about. And this is the area of localization and accessibility.
To reach our global audience, we have AI captions in 29 languages, real-time spoken interpretations in 5 languages, and American Sign Language.
We're very excited with this innovation that's taking place to make the Microsoft Ignite experience more inclusive and more accessible.
And it's time to jump into our next two keynotes of the day. Jared Spataro brings you the hybrid workplace keynote. Then immediately following that, we'll hear from Vasu Jakal with her Security for All keynote.
Now, the keynotes that are coming up in those two particular areas are available inside of the featured sections. You're able to add them into your backpack and take a look at them later as well. Any teaser hints you can share since you kind of work in that space, or do we need to leave it?
Well, we could leave it. I don't want to steal anything from Jared, but I really appreciate his perspective on things. Go ahead.
We're going to be right back here when they're done. So just make sure to come and join us back at myignite.microsoft.com, and we'll see you soon.